locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke loves wrestling.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
It is La Princesa Tiffany Nieves. I am the OVW Women's Champion, the Mission Pro Women's Champion, and most likely your favorite promotional next future Women's Champion. And you're listening to Duke Loves Wrestling.
She is back, folks. We are talking about one of our favorite guests of all time, a true fighter, someone who we have followed her journey from the very beginning. Literally, she was only a few matches in when she first came on Duke Loves Wrestling. And now, legitimately, she is one of the hottest wrestlers on the indie scene today. She is somebody that people are beating down the door trying to get booked for their events. And a little birdie told me out there that she's someone that the major promotions are trying to put their money up and see what they can do as far as trying to get her to come on their side. La Princesa herself, Tiffany Nieves. What's going on, Tiff?
Oh my goodness. Finally, someone who can do their job right. You know how hard it is to find an announcer that can give me that type of introduction?
Well, you know, I got to be honest here. I've been very frustrated with the fact that some of these low budget, no good humanoids out there have been mispronouncing your name. And I'm going to call it out right now.
Please
and
do.
all of you know who you are out there calling. They say Nieves. Who the hell is Tiffany?
Sometimes
Nieves?
they say La Princess. Who's La Princess? It's La Princesa Tiffany
right.
Nieves.
That's right.
How I know you watch the product. It's a shame, but you know I have no problem correcting anyone when they're wrong. It's my job.
That's right. ¿Quién es su La Princesa? Okay, I know a little Spanish. I took Spanish in high school.
Ya tú sabes.
That's right. That's right. So you know, get it together, folks. Nieves. Okay, say it correctly. My goodness.
My goodness.
What's going on there? You're collecting belts. You're out here looking like you know, one of the most beautiful women ever walked the planet of the earth. You've had a major glow up.
Thank you. Yes, it's been since our last conversation. I think La Princesa has really developed her purpose, and it's just now the world is catching up with it. So it's a very exciting time for La Princesa. I am, as you know, traveling worldwide. I'm getting myself out there, and I'm getting these opportunities to wrestle people who are giving me the experience and allowing me to really show my skills, whether it's on the mic, whether it's in the ring. I'm getting a lot of those opportunities, and I feel like I'm seizing the day with them. And I've had the opportunity recently to have a match against Hollyhood Haley, and I was very much victorious in that. And I am now the first Boricua, Puerto Rican women's champion of OVW, La Princesa. So I'm not only I'm making history now, and that's very exciting for a young girl who comes from the Bronx with big dreams. So I'm very happy to say that. And I couldn't have done it without the Bad Girls Club, Leila Gray and Jada Stone. So I really appreciate the collaboration from my ladies.
Well, certainly shout out to the Bad Girls Club, one of the hottest factions in the history of not only OVW, but all of independent wrestling. I mean, boy, you talk about it. Jada Stone, Leila Gray, La Princesa. Yeah. Wow, what a triple threat that is. And I'm going to tell you right now, it has been incredible to see you take that no good Hollyhood Haley J and beat the stuffing out of her. I mean, you really have shown her what it's all about, because she gets a little full of herself. She thinks she's hot stuff.
She really does.
Sick and tired of her always trying to start stuff with friends of mine. Okay, yep. She started with Leila. Okay, you know, she's been doing some things out there with some other folks. Now she wants to step to you, and you took the belt from her. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. That was 365 days in the making. It definitely wasn't easy, but you know, I got her when when I could. It's been a very long time coming, I would say.
Yeah,
Her
well,
and her dusty, raggedy sock of rocks is gone.
you took it from her.
Yeah, not only did I take it from her, I decorated it from her, and she still has to pay that tab. She had the nerve to then ruin it and make it dusty and stank again. Like, you understand, Layla Gray, Jada Stone, Tiffany Nieves touching it alone, it hikes up the cost. She could have brought a whole house with that, but instead she decided to ruin it once again. I mean, the sock I made was beautiful, and the sock I had to touch the night of my victory was not the same sock that Layla Gray, Jada Stone, and I had improved for her. You know, we try to help her, and she doesn't really. That's why she lost. She likes to do things her way, which is fine. I like to do things my way. My way happens to be the better way, the
Well,
improved way, the sophisticated way, the ladylike way. So
this is
the
what
lap-
happens when you step to royalty. Okay, you find out what
exactly.
happens there, and certainly Hollywood Haley J. Make sure that you understand. You
Yeah,
can't
you know,
step to La Princesa.
she says she's from the streets, right? And I tell her that is the fakest thing I've ever heard, because La Princesa is from the Bronx, right? And she still holds herself high with integrity. And when you look at the people around me, I mean, Layla Gray, she's a force to be reckoned with. I mean, beauty from top to bottom. Then you've got Jada, who I can say the same, but then you add some athleticism with that. It's incredible the things she can do. And then you add me. Oh my gosh, my skills on the mic, my skills in the ring, my looks, being La Princesa. We're a force to be reckoned with. And I think you're only as good as the people you keep around. So maybe one day we'll do some charity work and try to help her. Maybe she'll become a better person.
Well, that's very nice of you. The fact
Yeah,
that you're
but
offering charity work for
yeah.
someone like Hollywood Haley J, because she certainly needs it. So that's I love that. It just
Thank
goes to
you.
show La Princesa. Okay, the big heart that you have, the fact that you are so willing to give back to the needy. It's fantastic. I love that. I love
I'll
that. And
give
I
back to
also
the needy and greedy. Don't worry.
That's right. That's right. I also love the fact that Mission Pro Wrestling, I mean, you have taken that entire company over.
That is very true. I mean, I retired Jennacide. So, I mean, you can in fact say I did take it over. I retired their champion, and I said I would. And I'm a woman of my word, so that speaks high of my integrity. Some people question my integrity based on a couple of my matches there, but they're also questioning the referee if they do that. And the referee has the most authority in that ring, and I respect the referee. So for them to, the fans, when I say them, question and be so confused about how I got there really makes me question the future of wrestling. I don't know why anyone would do such a thing, but I am a woman of my word, and I said I was going to retire Jennacide, and therefore I did. It was a spoiler. I've been telling people for months prior to that match what I was going to do. And if I was a wrestling fan, I think I could appreciate someone who does what they say they're going to do.
Well, listen, I want to thank you so much, La Princesa, because seriously, and all of you humanoids out there, you Mission Pro Wrestling humanoids, you respect the referee, you respect your world champion, La Princesa herself, Tiffany
Gracias.
Nieves. Okay,
Mhm.
you don't sit there and try to backbite or talk down on royalty. It's just not right.
It's
Okay.
not.
It's not right. Now, I hear that you've collected another belt. You've added another belt to your collection there to match some of your other outfits, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For the longest time, have been working with Shine Wrestling, and I'm now a tag team champion at Shine Wrestling. And I'm teaming with La Brava. She's out of Florida. She's a force to be reckoned with, and we're working together to kind of keep that locker room in check, because that is another place that I've had so many names, so many people right now. Their champion is Evilise, and she has kind of taken us in at that promotion, and we represent Las Acarias, which I'm all about anything that represents my culture, being Puerto Rican, La Princesa. So although they're a little different than me, I'm La Princesa. The way they get down is very different from me. We represent something that I can stand behind, which is the Hispanic culture, and being Boricua. So I am so down with that. So I decided to consider what they were offering, and it included gold. So I said, I'm in. So now I am the tag champion there as well.
Well, I love that. And I got to ask you this because this is a big deal. You know, a lot of people are talking about fashion in pro wrestling, wanting to bring more fashion and what have you here. When you go out and you allow the common people to see La Princesa, how do you decide which belt to wear, you know, to go with your outfits, to go with your shoes, you know, the whole 9 yards there? Is there a psychology behind which belt to wear when you're out and about?
There really should be. Otherwise, my shoulders wouldn't hurt so much from carrying all three around. But I like to have options during the day. So if I'm having breakfast, I may bring one title with me. If I'm having lunch or dessert, I switch the title. Sometimes I like to have two with me. I recently went on a shopping trip with Jada and Leila, and we had coffee. We went shopping, and we even had desserts. And I think I switched the title twice during that day with what I wanted next to me. You know, it just depends on the mood, honestly. But I like to have all three with me at all times.
I love that. I love that. Mr. T has nothing on La Princesa Tiffany Nieves. Okay, she's got all the gold. And
I mean, I've got the friends to help me carry it, so why not bring it around?
Why not? Why not? That's right. I love that. It's really interesting, Tiffany, because you're somebody who listeners of this show, again, they've been able to follow your journey from the beginning and to see you just shine and just to be the star that you've always been, but now being recognized properly. It's so beautiful. And I'm going to bring it up. You're somebody who is a cancer survivor. And that entire community of folks, and we have a lot of folks on the show who've been affected by cancer. In fact, I think just about every one of our listeners in one way or another has been impacted by cancer, whether them personally or other family members. So to see someone like yourself who was able to defeat cancer and you're going on living your dream, you're a champion in multiple promotions, you look incredible. You know, you're getting all of the top billing out there and people are really buzzing about you. It's inspirational. I mean, do you feel that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a reminder to me that this journey is very hard. And some people would wonder how someone like La Princesa would be in such an industry that is so rigid and so tough and so cold sometimes. And it's that that drive and desire to conquer in me, being a survivor, that gets me through it. And I see it in my fans. I have to be honest. No matter what, the support I got from people who shared my struggle are the only ones I really feel can see me, whether I'm doing, you know, it's hard to say I do anything bad in the ring, but say I do something that a fan may not be fond of. These people who can relate to my story of being a survivor will never turn their back on me. I mean, they believe in me, whether I'm knocking out their favorite wrestler from last week or doing the right thing. It doesn't matter. They see me for me, and I can appreciate that. But sometimes it's not just the cancer survivor story that gets people behind me. It's there's times in the beginning of my career where I was very open about my challenges, you know, and I think people don't talk about it enough, but mental health is so important. And I had a lot of fans that were going through a lot of struggles. And when you're sick with cancer, you have to struggle with that doubt of, am I going to make it the next day? Is all this going to be worth it? And it's similar with mental health, no matter what you're going through. And I have a lot of fans that messaged me today saying, ever since I became a fan of La Princesa, I love myself more. I believe in myself more. I tell all my fans to stay beautiful. And that goes back to when I was sick, because I had to lose my hair and I could barely stand on my 2 feet. You know, my bones were so fragile. And I tell people, stay beautiful. Always. And I have fans that go to the gym. They've been a fan of mine for 2 years now. They've lost 50 pounds because someone told them to stay beautiful. So no matter what I'm doing, I don't care what people think of me, because I have these fans that remind me that living and being genuinely true to myself and giving out my kindness is what matters no matter what I do. So it is really remarkable to have that type of support. And I think it's a full circle. They give it to me and I give it right back to them. So I appreciate it.
We are talking to La Princesa Tiffany Nieves, legitimately one of the hottest, if not the hottest, wrestler out there on the indie scene today. And I got to ask, okay, because I know that you keep a list of people who deserve a royal thrashing from La Princesa. So who's on the list? If let's do an exclusive here. Can you name a few folks who are on your list that deserve to get in the ring so that you can discipline them the La Princesa way?
So I have to be honest, La Princesa can take anyone on right now in the indies. They can come and get it served my way. And they're going to understand what get it, got it, bueno means real quick. And that is a spoiler alert for everyone on the indies right now. Hear me loud and clear. You come my way, I'm taking over. So there it is. Now, I want to talk about next level. Like, I have some people that I'm not going to say it's going to give me a run for my money, but I would love to get in the ring with them because they are the next level for me. And I have to say, all these ladies are on the WWE roster. That is where my sight is. That's where I want to go. I'm going to say I have 3 people in mind that I would love to get in the ring with. Number one is going in no order though, but for different reasons. I'm going to say Becky Lynch has always been someone that I've had an eye on. I like her story. She's an incredibly hard hitter. She can really get down and dirty. And the fact that, this is so off track, but the fact that she is a mother and can still get in the ring like she's never missed a beat is so inspiring to La Princesa. I'm going to say Zelina Vega is very high on my list, considering the fact that she is one of the Puerto Rican Boricua ladies holding it down right now at the WWE. I've watched her back in her TNA days. I think she has an incredible story of why she got into wrestling. Her size. She reminds me so much of my favorite wrestlers, Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. So La Princesa would honestly even have an honor if we got to tag together. I think we'd make a great team. And then you can't have this list without mentioning the greatest GOAT of all time, which I think is Charlotte Flair. She's a second-generation wrestler, and the athleticism, the charisma, the fierce she has, the fierceness is just incredible. To share a ring with any of those 3 ladies is definitely high on the list of La Princesa. If you know anything about me, from a year ago to today, if I put my mind to it, it's going to happen. So I'm glad I said it here first, Duke.
That's an exclusive, folks. La Princesa has put it out there. Becky Lynch, Zelina Vega, and Charlotte Flair, you're on notice. And I'll tell you right, because Zelina Vega, she's smart. So yes, she's probably going to be on your good side there. She'll find a way to team up with you as opposed to being against you, because she doesn't want a piece of La Princesa. She knows better than that.
I think as a Boricua, though, she's also smart just like me, and sees working together and staying together as a female is in our best interest.
That's right.
Us Hispanics, we're about family. When she came, I literally had a tear in my eye when WWE performed in Puerto Rico. I know you watched that. The crowd was so live, and I'm going to tell you, I was so angry she was not victorious through pinfall that night, but she was definitely victorious through performance and love that night. She was very highly favored. And we stick, Boricuas, us Puerto Ricans, we stick together no matter what. So I think we'd be a force to be reckoned with together, I have to say.
I can see it. I can see it. I think it's perfect. Charlotte Flair, she could use an attitude adjustment. So if La Princesa wants to, straighten her out, knock her, because she calls herself the queen. And let's be honest here. No, you're not. Not compared to La Princesa. That's crazy.
Let me tell you something. The queen always needs a king. La Princesa does not. Okay. We'll leave it there.
Go. There you go. And I want to say this about Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch has a degree. Well, she has a degree from clown college. I don't know if you knew this or not, but she legitimately is a certified clown. She has a degree. It's the real thing. It's a real thing. So, Becky Lynch, maybe you can come to La Princesa's kingdom and you can perform your clown skills after La Princesa destroys you in the ring. I
Dang,
think that would be the
dude.
thing to do, right? She could be part of your little kingdom there, right?
Wow. Let me see. I don't know. Let's see if that's the type of entertainment La Princesa needs, because I think you can find a clown for free anywhere in this entertainment business. So I don't think I need to hire her. We'll see. I'll think about it.
All right. Hey, listen, Becky, I'm looking out for you. Okay, I'm plugging your resume, so to speak,
Oh no,
in case
dude.
La Princesa is hiring. So there you go. There. So let us know, La Princesa, where can folks check you out, especially for the rest of the year as we wind down 2023 and we look ahead to 2024. What's the best way that folks can keep up with you so they can keep supporting their favorite? Okay, their idol herself, La Princesa.
Thank you so much, dude. Right now, you can find me on Twitter. It's going to be Tiffany Nieves _. Same thing with Instagram. Those are the two places you can find me if you want to take it a step up, a notch up, and kind of interact with me. I'm now on Cameo under the name Tiffany Nieves. And I'm a little bit all over the place right now. I'll be having my first booking in Canada. I'm really excited about it. I'll be featured on Ladies Night in North Carolina coming up. I'm going to be in Mission Pro this weekend in Texas. The one thing that you can guarantee to see me every Thursday is on Fight TV for OVW, 7 p.m. live. If you ever want to see La Princesa Tiffany Nieves in the ring. But I'm always posting where and what I'll be doing on both Instagram and Twitter.
Before I let you go, none of us can be La Princesa, of course. We'll never be as beautiful or as strong as gifted ring, but maybe we can at least eat a meal or two that is good enough for La Princesa. So why don't you take us out with this? If we have an opportunity to grab some food at a nice Puerto Rican restaurant,
Ooh.
what would be the La Princesa spread? What are we eating so that we can at least try to feel like we're part of the royal court here?
So, all right, I understand what you're doing here. You want to feel like you're a part of it. And I always tell people this, and it's the truth, so don't be offended. The only time you can live like La Princesa Tiffany Nieves is in your dreams. Why? I am not a part of the 1%. I am the 1% because I'm really the best at everything. Now, I tell my servers this too when I go into a restaurant. My favorite meal to eat is always going to be a nice, juicy steak. Now, it's about how you season it. You season it the way my grandmother seasons it. No problems at all. You always have to have a side of rice and beans, and you must have plátano maduros on the side. You know what plátano maduros are, right? Oh
Plantain,
my
yes.
gosh, and it just is warm and melts in your mouth. If you don't have that for me, I'm going to lose it. I will lose it. I will lose it. That is a must-have for me. But I'm going to also tell you my favorite Puerto Rican meal is called el pastelón, and it's actually a Puerto Rican version of lasagna. And it's layered with cheese, beef, and sweet plantains, maduros. Oh, so it's one or the other.
Fantastic conversation there with La Princesa Tiffany Nieves. All right, get the name right. She's fantastic, man. And it's so cool knowing the journey and being able to document that journey here on Duke Loves Wrestling and to see where she's at today. I mean, she's firing on all cylinders, man. It's that light switch when, you're still trying to figure it out, how to walk, how to talk, how to dress, how to wrestle, the physical aspect of it, how to communicate to the fans and, further storylines and all that stuff. It's a lot to learn, but when they start to get it, oh my goodness. And certainly Tiffany, not only has she started to get it, she's got it. And because of that, sky's the limit. I completely expect, I'm telling all you major promotions out there, I completely expect you to back up the Brinks truck make an offer. Sign this talent before it's too late because, she is one of one for sure. And I know we're going to be talking about Tiffany Nieves for years to come. No question about it, because she's that damn good. That's right. Going to take a short break. And when we come back, I'm going to weigh in on an interaction that the woman formerly known as Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, had with, some humanoid at a signing. We'll be right back. Let's talk hydration. See, I carry something to drink with me every single place that I go because I am concerned about being dehydrated. It runs in the family. Everything from dry mouth, dizzy spells, fainting. It's pretty serious. And I've tried all the different types of waters and sports drinks. Let me tell you something right now. Liquid IV. That has been the most efficient at keeping me hydrated and doing so pretty quickly. Okay, Liquid IV has 5 essential vitamins and is 2 times faster at keeping you hydrated than water alone. And I'm serious, man. Everything from vitamin C to vitamins B3, B5, B6, B12. Liquid IV also is non-GMO, so it's free from gluten, dairy, soy. So for all you folks out there with food allergies, this may be right up your alley. And I know what you're thinking, but how does it taste, Duke? Well, it tastes pretty good. Okay, we're talking my favorite in pina colada. They also have tropical punch, strawberry, new flavors like sea berry and strawberry lemonade. You can enjoy this stuff, man. But don't take my word for it. I want you to stop what you're doing right now and head over to liquidiv.com. Use the promo code Duke Loves Rasslin so you get 20% off your entire order. I mean, anything that you order on liquidiv.com. So what are you waiting for? It's time for you to shop better hydration today. Use the promo code Duke Loves Rasslin over at liquidiv.com. Save yourself 20%. Stay hydrated. Most importantly, enjoy life. That's right. Have you seen this video of Mercedes Moné, a lady formerly known as Sasha Banks? She had an interaction with someone at the New York Comic Con recently, and the person was filming this interaction. And I'll paraphrase a little bit here because I want you to see it for yourself, okay? I'm just giving my take on it. Form your own opinion, but I want you to see it for yourself, so definitely look out for it. But the person says, "How's New Japan Pro Wrestling going? I know you left WWE because of creative differences." Now, they asked the question how New Japan Pro Wrestling is going. And before Mercedes could answer, they follow up by telling Mercedes about her life. "I know you left WWE because of creative. Are you kidding me?" So she put this fan in his place, for lack of a better term. And you know what? I'm not even going to call this person a fan. Because in that instance, you're being a wise guy. You're trying to get yourself over. You're being a jerk. You're not being a fan. Because a fan would have left it at "How's New Japan Pro Wrestling going?" A fan would have left it at "It's so great to meet you. I've been watching your stuff for years. Good luck. Keep up the great work." That's what a fan does. But a humanoid who wants to get themselves over, who wants to find their viral moment, who wants to trick the performer into giving them an exclusive. A humanoid would say, "I know about your life." And Mercedes even said, "Well, where did you hear that?" "Oh, I read about it." So because you read about it somewhere, that means you know, right? When in reality, Mercedes Moné has never, ever gone on record regarding why she left WWE. She's always said, "Hey, maybe someday I'll tell you." Folks, do not be like this humanoid, okay? That's not being a fan. That's being the complete opposite. And it's a disservice to the industry. It's a disservice to fans, quite frankly. This is the reason why wrestlers don't want to interact with you like they used to. This is the reason why they charge so much for these meet and greets. This is the reason why it's so difficult today for content creators who want to start a podcast or want to start a website or want to do interviews. This is the reason why you're having such a difficult time getting wrestlers to interact with you. Because of people like that humanoid at the New York Comic Con who recorded Mercedes Moné, putting him in his place because he crossed the line. You don't know their life. You don't know their business. Stop telling them that you do. You're out of your mind. Out of your mind. That's just the truth of it. You know, and I've seen a lot of discourse on this with a lot of people saying, he was just asking a question. She didn't have to. And it's like, you know, folks, you're having difficulty processing things. The question that was asked was, how's New Japan Pro Wrestling? But before she could even open her mouth to answer the question, the guy told her that he knows her life. That's what she reacted to. So, no, this isn't a fan asking a question. This wasn't innocent. This is somebody, once again, who wants to be part of the story. They want to get themselves over. It's not about her. Because I'm going to tell you right now, they wouldn't have been recording, and certainly they wouldn't have posted that online. Of course, they just ran online to go post it because they want to get themselves over. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, you know. But we got to speak up, and we have to make sure that we identify ourselves as not being like those folks, right? It's so crazy how many wrestlers say to me, Duke, I'll do your show. I have no problem doing your show. I'm not doing a lot of interviews. I'm not interviewing with some of these other folks. Well, why not? Because they ask ridiculous questions that don't pertain to whatever it is that I'm doing, and they're inappropriate, quite frankly. They cross the line. I would say the majority of the wrestlers I interact with tell me this. I'm serious. And ironically, when you look at who has been on the show through the years, and then you do your research, you realize they don't really do a lot of pro wrestling media interviews. And that's exactly why. Because too many folks have acted like the humanoid at the New York Comic Con, and there's not enough folks who are being fans or who are being professional media people, even most importantly. If you are trying to get information, if you want to do an interview. If I'm at an event and I see a wrestler, I say to them, hey, I got a show. You're welcome to come on anytime. But aside from that, great meeting you, whatever. And leave it at that. I'm not going to sit there and try to trick them into giving me some kind of exclusive so I can put it online and say, look at me, brother. And that, you know, and part of the problem is a lot of these folks think that this is easy. Until they do it, they think that they can just go and put up a podcast, or they can go and write for a website, start a website, whatever. And they think they're so brilliant that of course, people are going to listen, or of course, people are going to read. Of course, people are going to pay attention to them. But more importantly, receive them in a positive manner. And they find out very quickly, absolutely not. You're not that brilliant. You're not that interesting. And people, quite frankly, don't care enough about you to follow you. Who are you? So you really got to figure out what your motivation is. Why are you doing this thing? I started this show, and I've said it many times over. Everybody, there's no question about it. I started the show to give back to the wrestling industry. I wanted to feature stars from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. People who history may have forgotten about. People who history doesn't know about yet. And then, you know, sprinkle in some more current stars, of course. That's the point of the show. But in each instance, this is about shining a light on particular topics, and most importantly, shining a light on these individuals. This isn't about getting me over. I'm not here to be famous. I don't want to be famous. That's why you notice I keep a pretty low profile. You don't see me at a bunch of live events trying to take pictures with everybody and look at me and, oh, I'm so important. You never see that stuff, man. That's not to say that I'm not out and about. Of course I am. And I got a couple of events coming up. But you're not going to see me trying to position myself as being the star, because I'm not a star. I'm a guy covering this stuff, right? I'm getting information, a lot of exclusive information. And for our listeners, they get to learn something new about some of their heroes. And for the wrestlers themselves, and even the MMA stars themselves, they get an interaction in the form of a conversation. It's not even an interview, it's more of a conversation, but this lives forever. It's such a joy when folks tell me that they play these for their families, that they're proud of it. When people talk to them, they say, hey, go listen to my conversation on Duke Loves Rasslin. And I can see when that happens because, interviews that I've done years ago suddenly get a spike in new listens. And I know, okay, they must be telling people. And then people even go in the comments and say, hey, I'm here because such and such told me to come check it out. I find that to be an honor. And certainly that's by design. That's the point. It's not about me, it's about them. So it's interesting when I see these folks who are the complete opposite and they want to make it about themselves, like this humanoid at the New York Comic Con speaking to Mercedes Moné like a fool, telling her that he knows about her life because he read about it somewhere. That's embarrassing. Again, you're not a fan, you're a jerk, at least in that moment. And hopefully you learned your lesson, and hopefully that's not the way you're going to continue to interact with others, although I don't have much faith in that just based on the fact that you ran and put it online. Trying to put yourself over, man. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I end the show and I say, be kind to yourselves and be kind to others. What does that mean? Certainly, I don't interpret the way that this person conducted themselves as being kind to Mercedes, and certainly not even to themselves, because if you respected yourself, you wouldn't even have gone there and done that. You should have left it at House New Japan Pro Wrestling. Duke Loves Wrestling on Facebook, on Twitter, DukeLovesWrestling@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. I know that there are people who disagree because, they have their own interpretation of things, and that's okay. But I think it's imperative that we gather the facts and we look at the facts and we don't try to insert nonsense into the interpretation of what happened there. The question that was asked, he followed up by making a declaration. He made a strong statement. I know, right? That wasn't a question. He said, I know you left WWE because of creative. Well, how do you know that? Because WWE never said that. And how do you know that? Because Mercedes never said that. Well, I read it somewhere. What? You're embarrassing yourself. And then you put it online. Look at me. Look at me be a fool, right? But you're trying to get over. You're trying to make a name for yourself, buddy. That's why I won't even say the person's name. Go to hell. Be kind to yourselves and be kind to others. And stop trying to make yourself be something bigger than what you are. Especially when you're interacting with people who are somebody. Don't get yourself over in front of a star. It's silly. Take it away, Tony Schiavone.
This is Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.